Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 8th. Well, we had a nice little holiday break. And of course, the market was exuberant because the numbers came in and they looked pretty sketchy for the economy, something that we've known for a while, which means that rate cut fever is about to grip again. And that is going to throw the market continually higher. Still a question as to whether Biden remains in the race. That throws another one in there. So they're going to do maximum damage control, which means from their viewpoint, the Fed is going to go to zero and it's a buy. Plain and simple, just a buy. From an NQ standpoint, the readings are pretty clear. The magenta over yellow is straightforward, as well as the blue over the gray. And when you look at it from a DOC standpoint, cyan under red, always buy. So from those standpoints, pretty straightforward. Positive extremes, yes, on the NASDAQ here, going from, the first breakout move right about there. Brings the low 19,910. Something to keep in mind. That's not happening just yet, but things can change, and if the Fed is able to cut rates, which still would be shocking given what we're seeing from inflation situation. Of course, the bond market that started to get it right reversed course because they are desperate to have these rate cuts and they want to keep rates as low as possible. So they're going to continue to do it. It's pretty fantastic to watch it, particularly when you see this oil back up at its peaks. Yeah, that's not a helpful situation. If you think that inflation is going to go away, you're going to cut rates into rising inflation. Yeah, uh, that'll be interesting. But hey, we're going to experience it. Euro's very excited about that because obviously the right in France and some of these other places were thwarted by coalitions of the left to limit their success rate, and they maintain their control over the situation and are able to continue to drive the EU into oblivion. From a gold standpoint, yeah, it's going to start its rise, and it'll probably be, fits and spurts, but definitely if the Fed eases, gold's definitely going to take off even further. Um, it should already, just from an inflationary situation, though it's going to take a little time before that the broader inflationary numbers read. The pain for Bitcoin in that, of course, the Mt. Gox money, like we were talking about before, started getting released. Evidently, I'm not sure that it's actually transactionally traded or whatever. And most believe that these people are going to sell since they haven't had their money in 10 plus years. And of course, the price of Bitcoin has skyrocketed during that time. But yeah, and so that's caused some pressure. We would just say that it's positive extremes filling, because that's what it is. Uh, there is an additional setup all the way back to February. And that takes you down to 48.5. So in a bear situation, a breakdown, that would be it. But it looks like we're supporting at this particular setup at this particular time. Obviously, that can change with supply issues, and of course, you see ETH doing the same, forming its nice, tight little double bottom situation, clean and perfect. From a 50K standpoint, it liked the run and took that trade early on in the breakout. Still working on it because it should do it right when we turn green there. But anyway, yeah, a little bit of a breakdown, so it's taking off that. But this is a full reset of DOC steel. So as soon as it moves back up above the 13, negative 13, you're in for another up wave. So, but yeah, it's gotten pretty extreme. It needs to ease off just a little bit to cool down. So we can see a little back and forth from that. When we look at it from the intraday standpoint, it was buy, and it went all the way through that. And of course, that in post market, they took a little off, filled it back in, and now we're in another little up run. So, market's doing its usual. Volatility is still excellent, so I'm going to continue to trade what is and go from there. As always, anything relevant, I'll put it on the Skype chat for you. Have a good one. Trade well.